Hello everybody and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 where we've returned for another airport add-on review. And today we're heading to Alabama to check out Birmingham Shuttlesworth International Airport. This was developed by Fly Too High and it is priced at $16. So if you haven't watched one of these before, what you're seeing is what it looks like in the default sim. Then we'll move over to before and afters so you can visually see what the differences are between the two, and of course I just give my thoughts on what I think of the airport at the end. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into the before and after photos, where we'll start around the tower, terminal, and parking garage, where you'll get your first look at the new texture work around the jetways, the flight line, taxiways, runways. We'll also take a look at some of the roads outside the airport that have also been improved. And overall, there's a lot of great things to this airport add-on that I like, but as we make our way through, I'll talk about some of the things that I'm not too fond of and would love to see improved. So you can see satellite imagery has also been updated, which I always appreciate in these add-ons. The control tower is enterable and actually looks pretty cool from up there. So here's the drop-off point of the terminal, which you can see is a massive upgrade, considering the default building in the sim thinks it's an office building, when in real life it's actually a parking garage. So, pretty cool. And then if you go all the way around the bend there, you have the logo of the airport on the terminal. We're heading over to the right of the airport a little bit, checking out that massive hangar slash warehouse, little service buildings kind of spread throughout there as well. And for the most part, I do like most of the buildings. I have one example of one that is very comical. Here's another example of, you saw the satellite imagery, it was just flat cars because of that imagery. So do love the fact when a developer puts in the 3D models, makes the airport feel more alive as opposed to big open spaces. One area that I wasn't too happy with, I was hoping that they would remove these photogrammic blobs. They didn't do that, they just plopped trees in front of it, because you can still see the one on the right, and that massive one is behind the big tree. So things like that are always the first things I look at when I go into an add-on. It's like, did the developer clean that stuff up? And unfortunately, there's another issue later in the video where they've kind of messed up the terrain on the eastern part of the airport. Oh, hang on, I'm falling behind here. Look at the cool static display park on the right. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what the add-on creators are going to do, and they didn't do anything but delete it and put some trees in it. I was sad. I was really looking forward to it. By the way, this is the National Guard base now that we're seeing, which I think the National Guard base is probably my favorite part of this add-on, minus a couple things. I just like the red roofs. Adding a little bit of color to this airport is nice, because you know all the generic buildings look like this. They're really bland, so when you can get that color, get that extra detail into an area, I really like it. It does add a Black Hawk in front of the one hangar there, and it adds some very poorly textured KC-135s with a very short draw distance. Moving a little bit further down the runway from the base, get some more probably like private charter, general aviation hangars here, which I do enjoy the hangars because they've added a couple things that I want more developers to do. You can already start to see the terrain starting to break over here on the right side of the screen. We have UPS's distribution building or office or whatever you want to call these types of things for UPS and FedEx. So looks pretty cool. I, for the most part, enjoy the fence work. There's a couple. Oh, this is my favorite. I love this, because if you don't know me, I love old buildings. So I love when that's incorporated into these add-ons. I think it looks cool. It's probably abandoned in real life, because it looks abandoned from here. But I mean, it's still, I'm all about it. Give me older buildings all the time. Very much appreciate it. We have another angle. You can see the tower, terminal, parking garage over there. You'll also see the base, and then this giant hangar over in front of us with what I'm assuming is, it almost looks like a construction zone It could be the place for the snow plows as well. I don't really know what the specifics are, but it looks nice. Here's a little close-up next to the jetways, which the terminal was okay. It's not my favorite terminal, because originally I thought you were able to walk into it, but things kind of freak out a little bit. The lights outside the terminal load in at a very short distance as well, which is kind of a common theme throughout this airport, are those low distances. when I did the before picture, I wasn't realizing that there was going to be a raised bridge there. But, you know, still cool seeing the control tower, which will pop in there as well. And then a little aerial view, so you can see everything change at once. I think they did, like, I love the darker spots all through, you know, thrown around the airport where the planes are sitting, where they're mostly taxiing. I think it's a nice touch. Oh, this is great. Look how gigantic. What is this door? Fly too high? What's going on here? But so the left side of the screen is after the add-on is installed. They really, I don't know what they did with the terrain. They got rid of some photogrammic imagery as well. I think this part of the airport looks much better default. The only explanation is I think they raised it to get rid of the photogrammic blobs. But honestly, I'd rather see the blobs than the broken terrain there. And then, like I was talking about with the fence work, there's just a lot of areas where it's just poorly placed. There's planes from satellite imagery bleeding through the texture still. That would be nice to see cleaned up. And like I was talking about, terrain's also broke in the base part of the airport. You got the cars swimming through the ground. And then, of course, you get the really short draw distance KC-135s, which I'm not sure why it's such a short draw distance, just for the fact that the texture work is not great. So it's not like a really high performance type model going on. But if it's just something that can't be improved load distance wise, I'd rather just not see the plane sitting here at all, if I'm being honest. Here's a little close-up of those cool hangars with the 117th Air Refueling and Alabama Air National Guard. Don't know why there's a blank space in the hangar, just under the awning there. But you can see through the entire building when you're up close to it. I know, some of you might be thinking, well, this is a lot. Oh, don't know why there's so many like cargo bins here. That's more for APUs, lights, generators, stairs, and stuff like that. The cargo bins just seem really out of place. So here's inside the terminal, which I was really excited about. I'm like, oh, it's actually detailed in here. It looks really cool. But at various angles when you're looking at the terminal from both inside and outside of it, it does that where it just deletes everything. So it'd be nice to see that cleaned up as well. And here's just an example of what I was talking about with load distances. The lights pop in pretty short, and then everything on the ground really just continues to pop in like popcorn. And not something I really want to see too much when I'm taxiing. I don't know, it's just all these carts, for me personally, don't add anything. You can see some of the parking garages missing at maybe 800 feet above the ground. But I'm happy. Look at that view you get out of this control tower here. Oh, it looks so good. I would go without the sunshades, though. The sunshades ruin it. But everything else, I love it. Another thing I love are the hangars are actually enterable. I wish more developers would do this. It's nice popping whatever plane you want into it, getting some cool pictures. I was really excited about this. I was like, I'm going to do a day-night shot because I bet it looks awesome. And it does not, because there's actually no lights in the hangar. That would be a very cool addition. So from a distance, the night lighting looks pretty nice at the airport, but until you get close, you realize the lighting is not that impressive. Light poles are just there visually, not emitting any light. There are floating lights all over the place. Lights are not matched up with the lights that are actually on the building, which you can see there on the right. The lights are also floating inside the terminal. So it's just... And then it's a 3-light pole, but there's 4 lights emitting from it. And I'm spoiled now because the Detroit add-on we did last week has such nice lighting. They're not floating. They actually look like they're part of it. Even the smaller hangars had that effect, and it just, please, let's improve the night lighting and make that the standard, because that is just awesome. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed checking out the new airport add-on for Birmingham Shuttlesworth Airport. I want to say again, thank you very much to Orbx for giving me the opportunity to showcase this on the channel. Is it something that I would buy personally? I couldn't say it would be. It's nice, but I'd love to see those improvements in there, and then I'd probably consider it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys next time. See ya.